The Office is being rebooted. Yikes. You'd think The Office was owned by Disney at this point. It seems like remakes is all they're doing these days. But in fact, The Office is actually owned by NBC, the national broadcasting company. You know, it's the one with the chicken-looking logo or peacock or something. Which, if that means nothing to you, NBC owns Universal Studios. And they were the first and the oldest major broadcast network in the United States. NBC was founded in 1926 by the Radio Corporation of America, then owned by General Electric, Westinghouse, AT&T Corporation, and the United Fruit Company. I guess they're finally seeing the fruits of their labor now. Back to the issue at hand. The Office has been a staple on Netflix and was far and away the most streamed show on the service in 2018, according to data from Nielsen. Viewers streamed more than 52 million minutes of the show that year, 20 more than the second most watched show, Friends. Then in a shocking deal in 2019, NBC paid $500 million to get the streaming rights to the show. The Office is now available to stream on Peacock. The show was a massive success, of which NBC so badly wants to replicate. The idea of a reboot came out of nowhere, and although rumors state that it will be developed by Greg Daniels, who is the developer, executive producer, and showrunner of The Office, a new cast, sets, and overall feeling are a given with any remake. NBC just wants to slap The Office name on a similar product to drag in more viewership. A lot of people are angry about this, and I think rightly so, with one person stating, "Yeah, I'll have The Office with the original cast. If Steve's not there, I will send it back. If Rain's not there, I will send it back. If John's not there, I will send it back. If Jenna's not there, I will send it back." Another user stating, "Yeah, how about no? This show is perfect, we don't need a reboot. If Steve Carell is not in it, I don't want it. I don't know how to feel about this, I just really don't think we need it." The Office is not that old to be rebooted. I mean, Michael used to receive his Netflix on the mail, but it's still not too old, and there's a new generation of viewers who will think this is outdated. Many don't know how to feel about a reboot. But many don't know that The Office itself was in fact a reboot. It was based on the 2001 to 2003 BBC series of the same name, created by
Ricky Gervais
and Stephen Merchant. It was adapted for the American television by Greg Daniels, and shared many similarities to that of the 2001 series. Also to be noted, The Office was met with mixed reviews during its short first season, and many believed this remake would not be successful. But the following seasons, particularly Carell's performance, received significant acclaim from television critics of the show's characters, content, structure, and tone diverging considerably from the British version. Some people wrote, "I remember when it was announced that they were making an American version of the original Office, and everyone said it was a bad idea and would be terrible. I wouldn't count Greg Daniels out, he's proved everyone wrong before," with another Reddit user saying, "Yup, people were gatekeeping the sanctity of the British version, just like they're doing now with the original American one. The Office has had a bunch of versions in a lot of countries. Who says you can't have two from the same place? It's been almost 20 years since the first season, and while the humor still works, the setting is outdated. I say go for it. Worst case scenario, I keep watching the original." Now, I think they shouldn't go for a full-on reboot of an American version. The Office was too successful and too beloved for NBC to split the fan base in such a way. They should instead look to create a spin-off series and connect in some way with the original Office that everyone loves. This way they would bring in new fans but respect the current ones. The good news is, for those worried, Greg Daniels previously hinted that the show's return back in February 2022 during an interview with Collider. The Office was such a wonderful and rare experience that obviously you don't want to just go back to it and kind of possibly disappoint people when right now they couldn't be happier about it. He said, "I think it would just be sort of like an extension of the universe. You know what I mean? Like the way The Mandalorian is like an extension of Star Wars." It said the show would start production after the current writer strikes and actor strikes are over. Original cast members have also expressed interest in returning. But is it too soon for a reboot or a revival? Are people being too protective? And can Greg Daniels really reboot the show for a second time and make it something even better than the first? Or are people right in trying to protect their beloved show? Will the cast consist of new and old members? None of these points have been officially confirmed by either the studio or showrunner. Although we don't know for sure the true intentions regarding the Office reboot rumors, given studio meddling, I think it could still go either way. Either way, the bar is set incredibly high. Even with a lot of returning members of both cast and crew, I'm not sure it will be so easy to replicate the success that they had both viewership-wise and ratings-wise. which leaves me wondering if a reboot would be a welcome addition to the franchise or just create a bad taste in our mouths and hindering the existence of the original, creating a divergence in the fan base. And it really seems like The Office was one of the few fan bases and franchises that all really enjoyed the show, and they didn't have any back and forth bickering or any controversial opinions, and nothing was really divisive, but I fear this reboot could be changing that. And this opens up the topic for reboots in general. Are they happening too frequent these days with remakes? Obviously, Disney has been making a lot of live-action remakes, basically just remaking their old animated movies over and over again. It doesn't really invite for anything creative or new surrounding characters, story, and plot elements, but I'm curious to know what you guys think about remakes. As always, let me know what you think in the comments below. Would you like a full-on reboot with a clean slate, or do you want a spin-off show that keeps the faith of the original, or a spin-off that does its own thing? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.